Hey there, Johnny Daniel, your Stampin' Up! Independent Demonstrator. So today's video is on the Trusty Tools Bundle. Lots of reasons why, but as we start, this is the host code if you would like to order, or you could go to stampinwithjohnny.com/order and get the current link. This will be good through next Saturday the 15th, just to let you know, but take a screenshot of this. This is the host code. All right, so like I said, we're doing Trusty Tools today. I want to show you a couple samples and then we'll get going on the card that we're going to be making. So this is a simpler card. This is the metal plate embossing folder that we have. The paintbrush, the wrench, the hammer, the little pegboard thing. So that's one, just a simple card, blank inside. Okay, the next one I have, pegboard, layable, and then we've got the paintbrushes all ready to go, and another simple card, blank inside, but to make it look different. All right, so the one we're creating today, I'm calling a fun fold or a double fold. This is what we're going to be creating, but in different colors, of course, right? Got to have something different. So when you no longer have the paper to go with it, because remember celebration time, we had paper that went with it, no longer. So we make our own instead, right? So we've got this with the metal plate again. We've got this. We've got a gift card pocket here. Be careful because it is nearly summertime. With the heat, these will pop off if you're not careful. So I'll give you some tips on how to secure those differently. But that is what we've got for today. And then you can write here, or on the back. Your choice. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. So I have everything pre-cut, but I will be sharing all the measurements on this full video. We will be doing some other short ones that will not have the measurements, but for this full one, we will have all the measurements. So we will start with the base. The base is 4 1/4 by 9, and then scored at 5 1/2. So basically, you could do a 4 1/2 by 11 and just cut 2 inches off after you score it, if you don't want to have to measure, as it were. And if you do more, do less, it really doesn't matter. But 2 inches off is what that is. Okay, and then we're gonna fold this up. Instead of a normal card going up and down this way, we're gonna go this way. Okay. Then what we've got is in basic gray, because I figured it would go with the metal plate and it would go with some of the stamping we're doing. I've just got a piece of basic gray, and this is what I'm calling our outer mat. And this is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And then I've got a piece of basic white. This is not cut at 5 by 3 3/4, which is what you would think. Instead, it is cut at 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Why? Because I just wanted a little bit more of that gray showing. So I just trimmed off an extra 1/4 inch. So again, this is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. I'll be doing some stamping on there. So let's bring back the base. For the base, for the metal plate, which I've already embossed, okay, that goes here. That metal plate is 4 by 3 1/4. 4 by 3 1/4, just for your info. And then the mini card base is what I'm calling it. The mini card base is this piece here. This is 2 1/2 by 8 and scored at 4. Okay, so you've got that. And then the pieces that go on it are 2 1/4 by 3 3/4, so just a 1/4 inch in from those, from the mini base, as it were. And then last but not least, we've got the gift certificate pocket. This is 2 by 4 1/4. 2 by 4 1/4. Now, if you wanted your sides to be a little bit bigger than this, you can always add a 1/2 inch. So instead it would be 2 by 4 3/4 if you want your tabs to be a little bit bigger, so you have a little bit more space to put glue down. So, and then you're gonna punch your notch, okay? So that's everything so far. The notch can be circular, it could be anything really. And I'm trying to pick which one I'm gonna do. So I'm actually gonna use the hexagon here, but honestly anything that has a circle, a square, any kind of shape, just know that you're only gonna be using this top portion. So that is the safest bet for that. So you don't want to use like a heart or anything like that, because if you do, you'll get like half of it and it'll look kind of weird. So hexagon works just fine. Okay, so I've got that going on, and then I need to get my tear tape. Now, one of the paper pumpkins, one of our all-inclusive monthly subscription kits, had this tear tape that was super duper thin. If you don't have it, then just use the regular, but I like it because I don't have to roll it over and do all that kind of stuff. If you have the thicker one, what you gotta do is just let it hang off the edge. Hang off the edge, not the scored edge, but the edge. And then once you peel back the backing here, all you have to do is kind of roll it back with your fingers. Pretty simple. Just so there's no stickies exposed, for lack of better terms. Okay, so we're gonna throw this down. Now you notice I'm skipping those corners, right? I'm skipping those corners because we're gonna cut those off. Just so you don't have, like, it doesn't bunch in the corners, okay? So you'll see in just 2 seconds. I wanted to get that tape down first because I'm gonna grab my snips to cut my corners. But I wanted to get my tape down first because I used my scissors to peel the backing off. So I was trying to keep track of my tools and only have to pull it out once. I know, just what it is. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, peel this guy back. And you're like, but you don't even have the card done. I know, but honestly, I have it right here. Let's get it done, okay? It's just that simple. And then I will also give you some tips on how to keep this gift card pocket down, okay? So, all right. Let's get some stamping done, shall we, first? Okay, so we've got this, this, and this that we got to stamp on. Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to use our basic gray. And our basic gray, I've got my nuts and bolts already on here. And we're going to be doing our background. Let's make sure. Yep, we're going to do our background. So to do random, put it wherever and then fill in the holes later. You want to try to not have the same angle and the same pattern for rows and rows, kind of like I'm doing right there. So that way it looks random and you don't end up having it look like you meant to do it a certain pattern. If that makes sense at all. And that needs to go there to fit, but we'll get it. So different angles, different looks. So that way it doesn't look like you meant to do it that way. Okay? And if you see any missing while it's still out, grab a little bit more. Okay? So there's our mat. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab our front because it's all in gray. And I'm going to grab here and I'm going to grab here. Okay? So I think that's done. We'll see. And then if you want, you're the most awesome on front, or if you want thank you, up to you on what you do. But for me, I'm gonna go right there. Why do I have them offset? So I can see them both, so they're not in the same line of sight. Okay, so that piece is done. Then I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna show you how to do some fill-in work. Now, one thing I noticed with this one, when you go like this and you go like this, I didn't like the fact that you could see just the top of the word. So I am going to be moving those down a little bit. Stuff you got to pay attention to when you're designing, right? So I'm actually going to move down a bit. And that gives you more room for your name and all that kind of stuff. So we've got that. Then I'm going to grab my tape measure. And the great thing about this set is there's pieces and parts that allow you to fill in without having to color. You'll understand in 2 seconds. So I'm just going to close this up. Let me get the stamp set here. So if you see this and this fills in or colors the tape measure. This colors the pencil. This colors the handle of the hammer, this colors the handle of the wrench, and this colors the handle of the paintbrush, as well as the little bit of paint on the bottom. Love the detail work in the design. Okay, so I'm going to grab Blueberry Bushel, which is the blue we're working with, to tie it all together. And we're going to grab our filler. And if you don't want it so dark, you know, stamp off, but I'm going to try to get perfect. Okay, so we've got that going on, and we've done that. I think we got all our stamping done. I think. If not, we can always reopen, right? So, all right. So now we've got pieces and parts all over the place. One of the biggest things for me is to remember that this folds up and not down. For some reason in my brain, it always wants to fold down, and I end up almost gluing things backwards all the time. So just a thing for you to remember. So we're gonna glue this down. I'm using the Stampin' Seal for this. And then we've got our little screw nuts, bolts background. So we've got that. You don't want to use too much dimensional because there is quite a bit of folding on this one. So there's that. Now we're going to, well, let's see. Are we going to glue the base or are we going to glue the metal plate? It really doesn't matter, but I'm going to glue the metal plate first. So we've got here. If you don't want to fight it bouncing around on you, unfold the whole thing. Make sure you don't take a bone folder or you don't mush this a whole bunch, because you will mash all those points down that just got embossed, okay? And then for this guy, if you want this to show up more, use a different color, but I kind of wanted it to be a little more hidden, as it were. So I'm gonna grab here, but here's my tip before I glue it down. I'm gonna grab my glue dots. Why am I grabbing my glue dots? Because it gives just a little bit more oomph to the glue and allows it to stay a little more put with the hot weather that's here. So, and then you might have to still, you know, put a couple of pieces or whatnot, but just what it is. And if you need to cut a bigger tab, so that way you have more to glue down. I have found that when I do the bigger tabs, it still pops up. So it's not a matter of how much surface area, it's just that it wants to. It's just that simple. I've also tried to do bone folder beforehand, and honestly, it just never seems to completely stick completely down. So it's not from a lack of trying, but I found that the glue dots really help with this. And I kind of put them towards the middle, not on the edges. So we got one more to go here. So just something I have learned over the years to do. Okay, got it. All right, so you want to put it kind of on the lower side, so that way you have room to put the gift card. So I've got maybe about a 1/2 inch on the bottom and then just even across. I put the bottom tab down first and then stick both of the sides down. I kind of do one side at a time, just so if it buckles, I only have one side to pull up. And then really just stick it down. And there's that gift card pocket. So glue dots are your friends, okay? So we've got that. Now we're gonna grab this. We're gonna throw our Stampin' Seal on the back of it. This is gonna go centered from the score line is what we're doing. So we're gonna just glue this down. If you don't get it centered, then yours isn't centered. It's just that simple, no big deal. All right, so we've got our thank you with our tape measure. And yes, these cards will be going online for sale. They will be $7 with free shipping. You will also be able to pick them up locally, but at Copy Center Plus. But I just wanted to tell you, so that way in case you don't want to make it. Okay, so there's that. So we've got this, this, this. Okay, so here's my question. Do you like the more monochromatic, the blues, or do you like the green with the red? I like both of them, but you know, it's just how my brain works. So if you'd like to order this set, let's see if I can find the host code. If you'd like to order this set, it is through June 30th, 10% off. All the stamp and die bundles are 10% off. So there's your host code again. And I hope you enjoyed seeing all of these lovely cards. And have a great day. Go create. Talk to you soon. Follow me, stampinwithjohnny.com. Bye-bye.